Minister of Justice and Correctional Services, Ronald Lamola, is expected to conduct an oversight visit at the East London Correctional Centre today. This after a second woman warder at the prison tested positive for coronavirus. The department embarked on a mass testing campaign last week. To get more on the story, we go live to our reporter Abongile Yankees. Abongile, a very good morning to you. Just to start off our story, the ministry releasing a statement this morning about a report in the Sunday Times today. What are they saying?
A very good morning to you too, Desiree, and a happy Easter Sunday to our viewers at home. Well, indeed, we are coming from the East London Correctional Centre, where the Minister of Justice and Correctional Services, Ronald Lamola, just made his way in here now. Well, it was expected to start at 11, but he just got here now, and we're hoping to speak to him as we speak, but he just rushed to go to meet with the Premier of the province first and the Health MEC for a political briefing. After that, they will be going to the facilities and assessing the facilities, checking whether there is compliance following the people who have tested positive. What we are getting on the ground is that the number is increased of people who have tested positive for the virus, but the number will be confirmed by the minister when we get to speak to him. He will hold a press briefing later on the day after he has done his oversight at the facilities. It is estimated that there are over 200 officials that have been tested to date. Whilst most of the results have come back, about 90 of them are still outstanding. But to tell us more, Des, I'm now joined by the spokesperson of the Correctional Services, Ronald. Sir, thanks a lot for your time. What can we expect today from the Minister's visit here?
Firstly, I think it's important to highlight that it was necessary for the Minister to come here following the news where 2 of our officials tested positive for COVID-19. You will then understand that a number of officials, will feel somehow uncomfortable not knowing, whether they are safe or not. So the Minister's visit is strictly, to give them courage and also to demonstrate to everyone that COVID-19 is not something that people, must be ostracized merely because they've contracted it. But also it is for the Minister will get a feel of how the systems have been in line with the strategy that we have to put in place. So then later on the Minister will also divulge the exact numbers in terms of those who have tested positive and those who have tested negative, also paying particular attention on the inmates who are mostly defined as being the most vulnerable.
To date, how many inmates have been tested or screened?
At first, all inmates were screened and only 30 were tested. But looking at the developments with the numbers or with those results coming back, a decision was taken that all of them must be tested. So at this point, we are waiting for those results to come back. Only 10 thus far, we've received back from the NICD and working together with the Department of Health. So ours at this stage is to ensure that we give courage to other officials, also to ensure that they protect themselves, and we are waiting for those results, and also ensure that we do whatever it takes to prevent any further spread of the virus.
In terms of these inmates that are being tested, does it include the males? The males, since there have been cries from unions that particularly the male section, it is overcrowded. We spoke to Pokru earlier on the week. They say the male section is overcrowded with inmates. And should someone test positive there, and what would the department take?
A correctional environment is very closed and people move around. Here I'm referring to officials and people who stay within our premises. So only testing female inmates who may not test as much. Hence then it's important that we test each and every individual who's within this correctional facility.
Well, sir, I understand that you have to go and meet with the minister now, but we thank you very much for your time.
It's a pleasure.
Okay. Well, there you have it. There's the spokesperson of the Department of Correctional Services, Ronald Lamola, briefly outlining to us what will take place here today. We are to speak with the minister about other various issues, including the reports that there are some inmates who don't have protective gear, who are working in Sun City in Sun City in Joburg. But from us here, myself, Akobile Vena, and from myself, Akobile Vena, Abongile Yankees, and Akobile Vena, it's back to you in studio.
Thank you so much, Abongile Janchis there. In that report he's referring to is a statement that was released today by the Department of Justice, titled A Response to Sunday Times, Sun City accused of staging COVID-19 Preparedness Act for Lamola. The Ministry of Justice and Correctional Services has noted an article published in the publication, both its print and online platforms. At the time of going to press, the publication had not considered our response, and that response is to several questions that I hope Abongile will ask them as soon as he speaks to them live.